In a previous video, we talked about formulas. We saw the theory of formulas. In this video, we are going to start using these formulas. We said we have two ways of accessing formulas. We can either use the fx or we can use the summation symbol. And we say the fx and the summation symbol are both found under the Home tab, and they are also found under formulas. So you can have fx and summation symbol. Fx is used to insert functions. Say if you don't know the name of the function, remember we said the formula begins with equal sign, then function name. But at times, probably you don't know the function name. Excel can assist you to get this function name. Say for example, if I want to make an addition to sum up the student marks here, and I don't know the syntax, how the formula is written, I can go to insert function. So I have here is type a brief description of what you want to do and click go. So if I want to do addition of numbers, then I'll click go. So Excel says rephrase, it has not understood what I wanted to say. So adding numbers, go. So sum of numbers, and I click go. So Excel now has understood and it has brought me different formulas to deal with sum of numbers. So there's IM sum, and so on. As I click on a formula down here, they will explain to me what it does. Now if I click on sum, it says add all numbers in the range of cells. So if that's what I want, I'll click OK. So Excel is going to assist me. So Excel thinks the numbers I want to add are from B2 up to E2. That is from B2 up to E2. If that's what I want to add, then I can say OK. So as you can see, Excel has given me the sum of the numbers. When you look in the formula bar here, Excel has written the syntax, which is equals sum. So the function name here is sum, and the arguments are from B2 up to E2, from B2 up to E2. So using relative referencing, otherwise I would have gone here to do the same thing, and I say equals sum, open bracket, then B3 to E3. So if I have many students in the class, it will take me long to complete all of them. So instead of doing that, I'm going to use relative referencing by getting the first number. After getting the first number, I can either, you see this symbol here, this dot here, the black dot. So I bring my mouse, it turns it. Now the mouse can take three forms. You can see this white cross, then you can see that solid cross. So what we need is that black solid cross. Then you click, hold, and drag down until you reach the end, then you erase. So that is relative referencing. You can also do relative referencing by just double clicking on that dot there. So if I double click, it will do relative referencing. So there I'm able to get the totals. Relative referencing, as we said, you see this is B2, E2. So when I change position, it comes E3, E3. When I change position, comes B4, E4. Change position. So that sum function uses relative referencing. When you go to average, using also the function fx, this time I'm not using the one in the formulas, but I'm using the one at a home tab, which is at a formula bar here. It still takes you the same, so I'll click there and I say average. And I'll click OK, go. So Excel brings me the average, and I'll say OK. So the range. Now Excel thinks that I need the average from B2 up to F2, but remember F2 is a total. So it means I can reset this and I select again the cells I want. So I have from B2 up to E2, and I'll click OK. So I have the average of those numbers. So I can double click here to make a relative referencing. So as you can see, the arguments change. Arguments will keep changing as I change position. That is relative referencing. So that is how I find the total and the average. I may also want to find the maximum number, the highest subject a student, the maximum score he got. So that is highest score. So this time I'm going to use the summation symbol. So under the summation symbol, we have sum, we have average, those ones we have done. But now I want the maximum, which is the highest. So I'll click on max. So Excel thinks I need a maximum number from here, from B2 up to E2. But remember, this is total and this is average. So it means I have to adjust here such that I put E2 instead of G2. So there, Excel shows me what it's going to look at. Then I can press enter. So that it was the highest number. And I can use relative referencing such I can have the highest mark for each student. Lowest mark, the same applies to lowest. Now let me use Autofit because this is highest. I want the word to be complete. I'm going to use a function for Autofit under format. So I choose Autofit column width. So I find the lowest. Again, I'm going to use the summation symbol. Either I can use the home or I can come through formulas and I get there. So I want minimum, lowest is the minimum. So I click minimum, adjust the range from B2 up to E2. So I get the minimum and I do a relative referencing. So that's how we find the total, average, highest. So as you can see, you can just write a formula equals mean, open bracket, then you put a range. For highest, you can just say equals max, open bracket, a range. Average equals average, open bracket, a range. And total equals sum, open bracket, range. Then after you do a relative referencing. Meet in the next video as we add on more features in formulas.